Department of Biochemistry at P.V. Koirala Institute of Health and Science, Dharan, where she has dedicated her expertise to teaching, research, and academic excellence. Beyond her professional responsibilities, she is a committed board member of the Rare Diseases Society Nepal, actively working to advance advocacy, awareness, and support for patients and families affected by rare conditions. She is especially passionate about newborn screening and has been continuously contributing toward improving early diagnosis, timely intervention, and quality care for children across the country. She is also a proud charter member of the Dharam Postmasters Club and currently holds the role of Vice President Education, where she consistently contributes to nurturing leadership, communication, and confidence among aspiring speakers and community members. Her life philosophy, rooted in humility, gratitude, simplicity, and kindness, beautifully reflects in her work and interactions and her dedication to service. So, dear junior Jacees from all across the Nepal, please join me in welcoming our esteemed trainer, Dr. Vijaya Mishra. Okay. Can I see a smile on everyone's face? Yes? Are you all with me? Yes. Let's do this all together. I can see the room filled with energy already, but let's say it aloud. All right? 10. Let's say it backward counting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Thank you so much. That is just to make sure that you all are awake and you all are with me. Let's get started now. Close your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a long, deep breath. Now imagine yourself standing in front of a large audience, like the one that you have around you right now. Visualize yourself speaking on a topic that is very close to your heart, speaking about something that you're really passionate about. How do you see yourself on the stage? Take a few seconds to that visualization. Just be there. Now slowly open your eyes. Good afternoon, young ladies and gentlemen and dear audience. How did you see yourself on the stage? How was the feeling? Were you excited? Were you nervous? Were you anxious? Were you confident? What were you talking about? And how were the audience responding to what you were saying? Today, in the next 45 minutes session, I will be taking you through the why, the what, and the how of a speech, along with few effective tips on speech delivery. It is said that a finest ink is better than a finest memory. So if you want to, and if you can, please do write down the points that I'm sharing so that it becomes easier for you to recall later. Okay, let's get back to that visualization. Is there anyone in this audience who would like to come up here and speak on any topic that they are passionate about, anything for a minute. Anyone from the audience who would like to come up here on the stage and just speak for a minute about anything? Anyone? Come on. Yes, we have someone. So your name?
Thank you, ma'am. I'm Arun Kurala from Bhadrapur, Jacees.
Okay, so Arun, the stage is yours.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I'm seeing a well delegates in front of me and audience. So here I'm in front of you, talking about something that I'm passionate about. And the thing that I'm passionate about is playing football. Because recently in the Saturday, recently playing football, I was just injured and still I came here. Football is not just a game, it's a pure emotion, a culture, a culture disguised in sports. There is a saying in Italy, there are two religions, Catholic Church and another is football and Catalonia, where people root and vote for their team. The lose of their team becomes a depression from them, and the win of their teams becomes an enjoyment for them for the next 1 year. One small minor lose can make your day from high to the low, while one small inspiration, one goal can make you champion and make you a member in the history where you write a golden name of your in the football league and in the football history, remembering the word of Pele, where he stood how the world can be accomplished, where we have got greats like Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Messi, Maradona, Platini, Zidane, Nesta, Maldini, Costa Curta, Snyder, and everyone were not forgetting about the person who showed the modern style of playing football. Johan Cruyff, who decided the legacy of the football and made the modern football very, very interesting, tactical, and anxious. Remembering the words of Jose Mourinho, who said, I was special because I am a champion, while he was special because he did something different from others. While others play games on the pitch, he played games in the mind of the player. Thank you, man.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. So, as I go through this session right now, I want all of you to reflect. When I asked so many of you if there is anyone who would like to come up here on the stage and speak, I'm sure there are so many of you here who were feeling reluctant, who were feeling hesitant to raise their hand and come here and speak. So as I take you through this session, I want you to reflect on what was it that was making you feel hesitant to come up here and speak. So we just heard a beautiful speech. We all know how to speak. We all know that. All we need to do is to make our words either educating, inspiring, or entertaining to our audience's ears. Because that is what a powerful speech does. It either educates the audience, entertains them, or motivates or inspires them. And this brings us to our very first point, the why of our speech. Knowing your why. Why do you want to speak? Why are you on the stage? Are you there to entertain the audience? Are you there to educate the audience? Or are you there to inspire them? This should be clear. Imagine a bow and an arrow pointing up in the sky without a target. The arrow would have no direction, right? Similarly, when you are on the stage without knowing your purpose,
Without knowing your why, your words will have no meaning and your speech will have no direction. So always know your why. Why are you there on the stage? Know your purpose before you come on the stage. Now, once the why is here, next comes the what. What to speak, what to deliver. We all face this challenge. What do I go and talk about? So many things in head. How do I pick my topic? So here is the key. It is always better to speak on something that you know about, that you are passionate about. We just heard him speaking very passionately about football, right? He knew what he was speaking. So it's always better. You don't have to be an expert, but speaking what you know about will always give you that confidence on the stage. Now, imagine, I cannot come here and speak about how to build a rocket, right? So, knowing what you are speaking will give you a lot of confidence on the stage. However, one problem with speaking on what you know is that there is so much of potential content. How much to speak, what to speak, how much to deliver. Lot of information, right? When you know about something and you want to talk about it, chances are that you might overwhelm your audience with your information. So remember, your audience does not want to know everything that you know about. They just want to hear something interesting, maybe a story or two, and a meaningful takeaway. Again, you must be thinking, should I just go and speak about what I know? No. There is so much of scope on what you would want to come and speak. You can speak on your imagination, you can come and speak on your feelings, your emotions, something that you're passionate about, but always know the content that you're speaking. So, what to speak? Speak what you know about. All right? Again, coming to the what of the speech, whatever you speak, be authentic. Don't make up stories or don't fabricate your story just to grab the attention of your audience, just to gain sympathy, just to gain applause. Of course, you can fabricate a bit, then exaggerate a bit about whatever you are saying, but try to be authentic in whatever you are speaking. Because when you are authentic, it touches the heart of the audience. So speak what you know. Speak authentically. When you are speaking authentically, your eyes, your body, your voice, everything speaks and connects with your audience. Agree to this point? And remember to connect your what with your why again. What are you speaking should always be aligned to why you are speaking. So we are done. We have covered the why. We have covered the what of a speech. All right. Now, third comes the how. How of a speech. Here, we will be spending some time. I will be sharing with you some of my learnings and experience that I have gathered through my Toastmasters journey. There is not a single approach on how to craft your speech. All right, there is, and there should be freedom on how one would want to express their words, their emotions, their experiences. There is freedom to that. But what I'm going to share you right now is the basic framework of a speech, the how of a speech, how to craft your speech. When you are sitting down to write your speech, how do you start? How do you frame your speech? So I will be dissecting this crafting of a speech into the framework of a speech as 4 components: introduction, the body, supporting content, and the conclusion. This is what any basic speech that you hear comprises. Most of the speech that you hear has an introduction, it has a body, it has some supporting content, and it has a conclusion. And we will be talking about that one by one. Starting with your introduction. Your introduction is the opening. It is also called as the opening of a speech. Every speech begins long before the first word is even spoken. It begins that moment that captures attention, that stirs curiosity, that instantly connects with your audience. And that moment is your hook. You hook your audience to your script now, to your speech now. So your hook can be a question. We want to start with a question. It can be a quote. It can be an act. It can be a bold statement, or even a brief pause that allows everyone to lean into. The opening it sets the tone of your speech. It signals the audience that something interesting is going to happen. It invites the audience to your speech now. If you craft your opening with intention, the audience will now eagerly follow you through the message of your speech. They will follow you now. What next is going to happen now? This is interesting. You have already hooked your audience to your speech. All right? Now, the second component is the body of your speech. It is also known as the message. This is the core of your speech. The reason why you stood up to speak. This is where you offer your audience clarity, vision, and perspective. Now, a strong message should be simple, it should be focused, and it should be purposeful. You should have a purpose when you are crafting your message. It should align with the why of the speech again. All right? And this body, the message, is very important because it answers a very important question. What do I want my audience to remember, even if everything else fades away? So, whether your message inspires, informs, or challenges the audience, it should resonate and guide your audience to a newer perspective, to a newer understanding. So, we have covered the opening, we have covered the body. Now comes the supporting content. So if I just come here, deliver you a theory of how to craft a speech, maybe you might remember some of it, you may not. All right. So the supporting content in your speech, the third part, this is where you bring in your stories, you bring in your personal experiences. This is where your message will come alive. Because the audience might not remember everything that you said. The audience might forget the fact and information that you shared, but they will never forget how you made them feel. All right? So, when you share your personal experiences, your real life example, some relatable moment, it builds trust and connection, emotional connection with your audience. Sharing your personal story It helps the audience see your journey, see your vulnerability, and they will be able to visualize the meaning behind the message that you are trying to deliver. So the supporting content will transform your speech from just information to impact. It will transform your speech from words to experience. So let me share with you an example of the power of story, power of personal experience. Are you ready to witness the power of story? Yes? Ladies and gentlemen, the person that you see here in front of you today, confident and smiling, I have a story to share. A story of my transformation. Only recently did I consciously choose my journey of transformation. As a child, I grew up introverted, unconfident, filled with self-doubt. Recently, I decided to consciously work upon myself. I started reading self-help books that helped me broaden my perspective to see things. I practiced confidence every single day in one form or the other. And here's what I did. I embraced more of myself and less of other people's judgment and opinion of me. I embraced more of challenges and less of my comfort zone. I embraced imperfection and progress over perfection and excellence. And today, I stand before you not because I'm an expert or I'm perfect, but because I made a choice, but because I am ready to make mistakes and learn from them. Because I am ready to embrace challenges as an opportunity for growth. Because I'm ready to fall and fail and pick myself again. After all, your version 1 is always better than your version none. Thank you. So, how many of you here related to my story, saw yourself in my story in one form or the other? As a child, being inconfident, unable to raise your hands, not able to speak, filled with self-doubt. How many of you could see yourself in my story? See? You see the raise of hands? That is what a story does. It adds life to your speech. It makes your speech relatable to the audience. So that is the power of your story, your personal experience. It adds value, it adds life to the message that you just want to deliver. Now, the fourth and the final one is the conclusion. End with a call to action. A powerful call to action should be clear. It should be achievable for your audience. Your conclusion should not just be an ending. It should be an invitation for your audience. What do you want your audience to remember? What do you want your audience to do after listening to you? It should leave your audience reflecting or inspired. Your conclusion should be an invitation to that. So if you purposefully and carefully craft your conclusion, your speech does not end in the wall of this room. It will continue through the action, through the decision, to the mindset of the people who are listening to you. So craft your conclusion with a purpose, as an invitation. What do you want your audience to do after listening to you? For me, my invitation to all of you is how to write a speech. Be confident. Next time you are asked to come on the stage, just raise your hands. That is the purpose that I'm standing here today and trying to invite you on the stage, right? So always have that in mind. So we have covered the how of a speech, right? We talked about 4 components: introduction, body, supporting content, and conclusion. And we have covered the why, the what, and the how of a speech. What next? Your speech is ready. What next? Very good. Delivery. Now, talking about speech delivery, again, this is out of the scope of today's session, but I will be sharing with you some useful and quick tips that will help you leave an impact on the stage. Are you all with me so far? Yes? Okay. So, first tip, know your audience. Imagine me coming here, being a doctor, and talking about sophisticated medical terminology. None of you would be interested on what I'm speaking, right? So knowing your audience is always important and it is very helpful. What works with kids doesn't work well with adults. What works with one professional group might not work very well with the other. So knowing your audience always helps and it is very useful. The second tip is, as you are preparing your speech, as you are preparing, write it down, write as much as you can, because writing gives your thought clarity. You would be able to remove a lot of unnecessary words and content from your speech. Writing always helps. I know in today's digital era, we have all completely forgotten to write down, use our pen and paper, because I can see none of you or very few of you writing, right? We don't like writing, but when you write, it always gives your thought clarity. And one more benefit you have when you write as you are preparing, you can visualize yourself speaking, delivering your speech on the stage as you are writing. Believe me, I had 30 pages plus written content as I was preparing for this talk today. So, writing gives you your thought clarity, and again, it gives you the chance to visualize yourself on the stage. Third, if you forget your lines when you are on the stage, don't panic. Don't get anxious. You know why? Because none of the audience knows your content. I might have forgotten so many lines that are bubbling up in my head, but none of you know what I was about to speak. You don't know my script, you don't know my story, you don't know my content. So if I just stumble here thinking that, oh shit, I got that line, and then it's going to pile up and it's going to make you more nervous. So when you are speaking and you forget your lines, just chill. No one knows your content. Just carry on with your speech. Fourth, 5 to 10 minutes before your stage presence, before your delivery, take some time alone. Visualize yourself. What kind of energy is it that I want to deliver when I'm on the stage? If it is something motivating that I'm going to deliver, I should be feeling motivated. If it is something inspiring that you are delivering, You should feel that inspiration. You should feel inspired. If there is something emotional that you want to come and deliver, feel that emotion, feel that emotion. If there is something humorous that you want to deliver, you should be able to fit into that character. So before your presence on the stage, have that time alone for yourself to, to set up the stage presence. All right? And of course, drink water, relax, and use the washroom. You don't want to be on the stage just to realize that the bladder is full, right? Next tip, voice modulation and body language. Again, these two topics would need an entire new sessions to be covered. But I'm sure the term itself are self-explanatory, right? Voice modulation and body language. Whenever you are taking up the stage and you're speaking about something, it's like delivering a performance. Stage, coming up and speaking on the stage, you should think of it as a performance. You are acting on the stage, you are performing on the stage. Your eyes, your voice, your body language, it should speak out. Your facial expression, it should speak out. It should resonate. It should sink in. It should align with whatever you are speaking. Now imagine, I'm talking about a very sad incident, someone's loss, and I'm smiling and saying, the person just passed away very recently. Would it make sense? If I'm talking about something very exciting, and I'm like, this was so exciting. I just recently decided to go and go for a bungee jump, and I just jumped off the cliff. No excitement at all. So when you are delivering something, try to feel that emotions, try to bring in that emotion so that your audience can connect with you. They can visualize what you're trying to say. And finally, the last tip is practice, practice, practice. The more you sweat in practice, the less you bleed in the war. So the war, I mean, is the stage over here. With this, we are almost towards the end of the session. My dear young ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I know and I understand. Many of you here must be thinking, it's very easier said than done. Right? It's easy to say than to get it done. I'm not confident at all. Stage speech, not my cup of tea. I cannot do it. I can't. All those negative talks, all those inhibitions, all those self-doubt going on in your head, right? I'm not confident. I cannot do it. And let me share with you one biggest hack to confidence. Do you want to hear the hack? Yes. Fake it. Yes, you heard it right. Fake it till you make it. Fake it. Fake that you are confident to your audience. They would not know that you are faking it. And how do you fake it? Let me share with you 3 points here. Instead of coming on the stage like this, open up your arms, your shoulder. Your body speaks out. Stand tall, straight, shoulder apart. This versus this. Instead of when someone asks you to come and speak, instead of just immediately rushing and speaking and panicking and this, just take a pause and use a purposeful hand movement. Don't just flap and just jump to speak. And finally, speaking like this, with your heads down, with your eyes down, just eye contact. Make sure that you are looking into the eyes of your audience. Calm, smiling. Is it that difficult? Is it that difficult? Not this, this. Not rushing, but taking a pause and breathing and speaking calmly. Not like this, looking at the eyes straight and smiling. Take it to your audience. Take it to the person that you're speaking to. How would they even know about it? And even if they did, how does it even matter? How does it matter? So for all these years, the only reason that you don't feel confident, the only reason that you are not confident is because you care too much about other people's judgment of you, other people's opinion of you. Then trust me, you're already limiting your growth. Because true freedom, growth occurs when you liberate yourself from others' opinion and judgment of you. So next time someone asks you to come on the stage and speak, what will you do? Raise your hands and take the stage. You don't have to be perfect. Because remember, your version 1 is always better than your version none. And finally, don't ask permission to fly. The wings belongs to you and the sky belongs to no one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And for a wonderful presentation. The beauty of this presentation, if you ask me, as a trainer or as a facilitator, she came to speak about crafting your speech. And do you think she had any props to back her up? Were there any slides? Were there any bullet points? So she commanded through what? Only her voice. She commanded through her presentation preparation. Right? What did she say? To come to this stage and speak for 45 minutes on crafting your speech, she did a homework of preparing more than 50 pages of writing. Since yesterday, I do not know, we've never met. This is the first time I'm speaking to her. But what she said today reinforced what we are saying since yesterday. Practice, practice, and practice. And remember, the best way to deliver, as she said, is to fake it till you make it. When I started my journey as a speaker, I faked it. But I had such lovely teachers who told me that your fake is not good till here. You've got to be the real person in you. You've got to have that potential unlocked. Remember what Sandeep sir just talked about in the previous session. Unlocking your leadership, unlocking your potential. So I think this first time, I think Sandeep and myself would verify that this was the first time that we heard a facilitator speaking about crafting a speech with a speech. Otherwise, it will be always with a bullet point and do this and talking about some great speakers, some videos being brought in, and then they should do this and that and the great stories. She had her own story, and kudos to that. You had your story to tell to us. And Presika, thank you. When we are discussing about the contents to be delivered here in this academy, she was the one who said that GCI stands for parliamentary procedures, speeches, EPS, and we stand for leadership. So why not we have one session on crafting a speech? And immediately we agreed and we said that you take the initiative of inviting a person who could deliver. And she was the one who chose her, Dr. Vijay, to be here. Thank you, President, for this. And I've learned one thing. I'm an aggressive speaker. I am always an aggressive speaker. They know it very well since yesterday. They've been observing me. But I know from today, there will be some grace in my speech. The flow, the grace, and the beauty of how you just punched it with the power of words and expression was very, very obvious. Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful presentation. So soft, so sweet. त्यसरी तपाईँहरूलाई अघि हामीले पाठ प्र्याक्टिस दिएको रहेछ त्यो मिठाई खाँदै होइन अलिकति गुलियोपन लिँदै अनि म्यामको यो स्पिच सुन्दै सो नाइस सो आइड लाइक टु रिक्वेस्ट वी हेभ विथ अस president of Viratna Jacees, Pritesh here. Aisha, where is she? She's outside. Okay, so Pritesh Rasdahal, president of Viratna Jacees, please come forward. Your token of love presentation will lagi. On behalf of the academy team, and I'd like to request our faculty, Sandhika Shrestha, also to be here. And I'd like to invite JC Bidur Thapa, if you're around. Bidurji, what have you done? Okay. Okay. So I'd like to request, ma'am. Okay. Our president of Viratna Jacees, Utesh is in the stage. Utesh, okay. Thank you. Come for instance. Sorry. Okay, and now I'd like to call our national coordinator, Rikesh Vandali. Please, could you come forward? Rikesh is also not there. So I'd like to request Gaurav, Area A coordinator, and Presika, our Junior Jacees Leaders Academy coordinator. Your kit bag, please hand it over to our faculty. There are lots of stuff. Maybe if you're hungry, then you can go back home munching something. Thank you. And for sure, I think ma'am would grace us because in this region that you work in BPKHS that she works, we have lots of junior Jacees in Dharan, in Italy, in Jhumka, in Viratnagar, in Duabi, up to Dirtamur. We have junior Jacees. So I hope you will always provide some guidance through your mistake. एउटा कुरा मलाई एकदमै खुसी लागेको छ तपाईहरु कतिजनालाई थाहा छ टोस्ट मास्टर्स क्लब भनेर कतिजनालाई थाहा छ धेरै थोरैलाई थाहा छ जसरी हामी जेसिस we believe in leadership. Toastmasters is the organization for speaking leadership. Okay, त्यो speaking leadership त्यो जहिले पनि Toastmasters बाट आउनु भएको त्यो व्यक्तिहरु Toastmasters को अनुभवबाट आउनु भएको किन त्यहाँ जुन Toastmasters मा जुन system of evaluation, system of peer review, system of this thing is wonderful. Toastmasters say particularly your leadership in speaking को लागि हो यदि तपाईहरुलाई भोलिका दिनमा अझ स्पीच तिर गुड स्पीकर्स बन्न इच्छा छ भने प्लिज join one of the Toastmasters around Nepal थुप्रै छ अहिले अनि अर्को एउटा कुरा चाहिँ Toastmasters को बारेमा since man is associated with I love मैले international यो speech competition छ Toastmasters को proper reviews गरेर and there's one YouTube video छ it's about a Sri Lankan guy who's won the international Toastmasters this thing के गर्नु पर्दैन YouTube मा गएर Toastmasters international speech competition भनेर टाइप गर्नु होला you can see lots of videos जम्मा 7 मिनेटको हुन्छ because international format मा it's a 7-minute presentation को duration हो त्यसले गर्दाखेरि आज 9 जना साथीहरु तपाई सन्देश सन्दीप ओराटुमा भाग लिँदै हुनुहुन्छ अहिले तयारी गरेर त केही हुँदैन तर यदि भविष्यमा अझ राम्रो वक्ता बन्न चाहनुहुन्छ स्पीच गिभर बन्न चाहनुहुन्छ भने प्लिज रिमेम्बर टु वाच good people speak. So thank you, ma'am, once again on behalf of the and the fight.
And yes, if there is any question, I would be, if there is any question, I will be here for another 10-15 minutes more. So I would be more than happy to answer your questions. If anything, we can always discuss with the next 10 minutes. Thank you so much.